war is such a political ping pong that it is difficult even for those of us whose jobs it is to follow what is happening, and so in addition to the threats to increase the 25% tariff on cars made in Canada, Trump's also made it clear that his March 28th conversation with Mark Carney, where Carney basically said that Trump's now respecting Canada's sovereignty. He's not talking about the 51st state thing anymore. That wasn't true. And so
Hmm.
Trump came out, his press secretary said last week that the president's position, and this comes from Radio Canada, so there is a French version as well, but I've had it translated. Um, so just below the press secretary's Caroline Levitt's picture, it
It was the
reads that
first thing they talk about. It was
yeah,
clearly the first thing that they talk about in
yeah,
the opening of the call, and Mark Carney lied about it.
exactly. Once again, Mark Carney is caught red-handed in a lie. Carolyn Levitt confirmed last week that the president's position had not changed and that Trump still believes Canadians would benefit from becoming the 51st state. And then, of course, they discussed other issues between Carney and Trump, including the trade relationship and the tensions. And it was the Canadian Prime Minister who proposed to Donald Trump a revision of the economic and security agreement between the two countries. Of course, this would have to come after the federal election, which is happening this Monday, April 28th. And the American president, so Donald Trump, accepted that proposal. And so I don't trust Carney as far as I can throw him. Coupled with all the the People's Republic of China, Chinese Communist Party connections, his Beijing banking connections, the connections with Chinese tycoons and real estate broker rings. Um, this is, Carney has no problem getting up in front of his Canadian audience and boldface lying. He moved Brookfield assets into the US, lied about it. Obviously, I believe he has to be in some sort of conflict of interest, engaged in some sort of conflict of interest because he will not disclose all of his holdings and offshore accounts. I mean, the spider web of Mark Carney's connections is massive. And we hear only a tiny little tidbit of it every here and there, just those breadcrumbs from our mainstream media. And there's not more fulsome criticisms of him and his connections and his conflicts and his financial interests, other than, independent journalist Sam Cooper from the Bureau. That's the only person I know who's doing real deep dive work into Mark Carney's connections and the amount that he is lying and or deceiving Canadians about who he really is.
Just quickly, he's not even now an elected prime minister, and he has so much scandal. We talk about the 30 billions of dollars registered in Bermuda and Cayman Island, the 250 million loan from China when it was with Brookfield Asset Management. When we talk about the modular housing that will profit Brookfield Asset Management, but also himself probably, because we don't know how much share is still hold from the company. When we see there's so many, like the lie about Brookfield Asset Management headquarters. So I'm just wondered, there is so many things that went out about Carney, and Carney apparently is still leading in the poll. And so either Canadians are not really well informed, or they don't want to be informed, or they just don't care, or people are just saying that as, oh, it's okay. Anyway, he's a banker, his CV will help us to fight against Donald Trump. Because when you're on the ground and you speak with the people who are going to see Mark Carney, the main thing you hear is Carney against Trump. It's not Carney against Polyev. It's Carney against Trump. It's like if we are electing someone not for doing anything else than fighting the United States. But people don't realize we have 4 years to come. If he is majority government, if he get the majority government, this man will run the country. And with everything that we know so far, I don't think we are going towards something great for Canada.
No, or any real change as we so desperately.
Let's face it, Canada's economy isn't heading in the right direction. Inflation's eating away your savings, and government debt is out of control. No politician is going to fix that overnight. With Guildhall Wealth, you can hold real physical gold and silver inside your RRSP. It's a time-tested way to protect your retirement and take back control of your wealth. Call 1-877-8-SILVER or visit guildhallwealth.com/rebel to request your free investor kit. And hey, make sure to mention Rebel News.